this life-changing epiphany is a thing where you go, holy shit, and my life has changed. I thought, yeah, okay, fine, it's a good title, we'll stick with it.
Yeah.
But I've heard nothing but great things about it, and it was everyone else telling me it was a great title that I finally said, yeah, okay, I guess it's all right.
Yeah, that's great. So since your book is about creating change and lasting change, what is some of the worst advice you've come across that people give out about creating change?
Oh, the worst advice. Well, yeah. I would say, suffering, like something that you have to endure suffering or just power through on raw willpower and grit, because that's the fundamental thing about this book that I challenge in terms of traditional behavior change models, that when people focus on behavior change, it's like, have you seen the movie Shrek?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so in Shrek, forgive the terrible impersonation here, he says, ogres are like onions, layers, and people are like onions too. It's called Rokeach's model of personality. Mm-hmm. And the external layer are behaviors and actions, and then we've got, attitudes and beliefs, and then go even further, you've got values, and then you've got your core identity, yourself, who you really are. And when you focus strictly on those external actions and behaviors, you're generally in conflict with the more powerful drivers of your internal identity. That's why they preach slow and steady, baby steps, towards dragging yourself across a tipping point of habit formation. Because if you try and change too much at once, then you're going to hate it and you're not going to be able to stick with it. Right. And that being said, there's a lot of advice out there saying, it's New Year's Day, you've got a blood alcohol concentration that would tranquilize Charlie Sheen, and they want you to drag your butt out to the gym and start this new lifestyle whole hog because, make big change. That generally doesn't work unless you've had some type of transformative experience that changes your core identity. So this book essentially ignores it doesn't ignore it, because sometimes you need to engage in the slow and steady behavior change to trigger the transformative moment, where it pushes you way along the motivational spectrum. But the idea is to make it behavior change essentially effortless, because it's not changing behaviors, it's changing you and who you are. So when you go through these transformative experiences, the answer to what changed is, kind of everything changed. Like I just became a different person in an instant, where whatever it was, this goal that became my mission in life went from feeling like drudgery to feeling like it was my destiny and I had to do it and nothing was going to stop me. And I didn't. There was no suffering involved. It would have been suffering to not do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Great. So in everything that you've done and experienced so far, what would you say has been the best advice you've ever received?
Well, I would say that it wasn't advice that a person directly gave to me, but I write about it in chapter 1, which was what triggered my own life-changing experience. And so I was in university. I was flunking out badly. I was about to get kicked out. I was drinking too much. I was overweight. I was in debt. And I was in a state of despair. And I was reading the school newspaper, reading the funny sort of classified ads section where people would, have quotes and witticisms and proclamations of undying love or temporary lust or whatever. And somebody put a quote in there from folk singer Joan Baez, of all people, that changed my life. So this was the moment that took me from the drunken, overweight dropout into a very driven person who got 2 master's degrees and got in great shape and, raised a couple of straight A students and been happily married and a successful author and all that stuff. So the quote was, "Action is the antidote to despair." And that has become my life mantra, that anytime something goes sideways and I think, oh man, this sucks. Rather than, I may wallow in self-pity for a little while, but generally that pops into my head saying that anytime that there is a big problem that in life that I have to face, I remember that and think, okay, work the problem, figure it out, take action so that you don't sink into despair over this and find a way to fix it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, James, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Yuri. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad. If the listeners want to buy your book on January 22nd or read more of your writing, where is the best place they can go for both of those?
Okay, so the hub of my life is bodyforwife.com. Mm-hmm. Again, wife, the nice lady that lets me see her naked. And I'm very shameless in my promotions of my book on that page, so they can find it quite easily. They just click the book tabs, and there is a link to whichever platform they desire, if it's electronic or print or audio. I think I found every single possible purchasing link and put it on that page. I've got a blog there too where I swear a lot. so and I'm very opinionated. So if people don't mind reading some pretty aggressive, profanity laden opinions on my blog, they're welcome to click that tab. I'm on Twitter, but I don't like Twitter too much because I'm way too long-winded. And that one is @BodyForWife. And my Facebook, where I have way more fun, and have a bigger, I have a great, very interactive audience on Facebook. I love those people. And that's /BodyForWife.
Okay. Perfect. Again, thank you so much. So I just want to iterate again to the audience that it's, so the holy shit moment, how lasting change can happen in an instant, being released on January 22nd. Pre-orders are on Amazon. I'm staring at it right now. And I'm also, James is very nice and gave me a copy of his book, so I'm in the middle of it right now, and it is an absolute pleasure to read it. So thank you again, James, for taking the time to chat with me. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Yuri. It's been an honor.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Advance Your Art podcast. If you like this episode, please go into iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button so that every single time I release a new episode, it will go directly to you without even thinking about it. If you're interested in hearing older episodes, please go to advanceyourart.com where you can find the catalog of everything I've done so far, as well as contact information and projects I'm working on. Thank you again, and have a great day.